Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, what I'm working on today
Yes.
is I took up the carpeting in the hallway, in the central hallway of the upstairs apartment here,
Oh, looks good.
and well, this is this is what was under the carpet on this part. There's a threshold here, and there's a nice finish floor here,
Yes.
which is taken some abuse over the decades, but we're going to be able to clean this up really well. When you step down about a ½ inch or 3/4 of an inch, there's a subfloor, just a wooden, a plain wooden subfloor underneath, and it's been covered with 2 layers of linoleum and a layer of padding and a layer of carpet. If you come over here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the carpeting that I'm taking up, and on the edges we've got this tack strip, and that has to come up, and then the padding comes up, and then there's this layer of linoleum, and then there's this layer of linoleum. Now, the gray linoleum was put down with adhesive and tiles. These are like 1-foot tiles or maybe 9-inch tiles. Under that, the green linoleum, though, is just one big sheet. And so I'm hoping I'll be able to just lift it up. I worked my way into this double closet, and I lifted up the green sheet that was in there. And I've got it in pieces over here. So this over here came up out of the inside of the closet.
Oh.
And what's underneath, it looks black, and it is black. It's the old green sheet linoleum adhesive.
Oh.
And later on, I'm going to take some water, so I'm going to put on some gloves, take some hot water and a scrubbing brush and see how much of that comes up. But I think this will come up with water. But,
okay.
But right now, what I'm going to do, why don't you stand over there, I'm going to see, hopefully this will come up in a sheet, 1 or 2 pieces, because I've cut away everything at the edges. I'm curious to see what's underneath here. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, this is a mess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break this up into pieces. There.
Into itty bitties.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna walk this behind you, Eddie. Thank you. And I'm gonna fold this guy over, and I'm gonna walk this over here. And let me see. Boy, this looks pretty messy, but this, that's stuck. Huh.
And there doesn't seem to have been a hole.
No, but somebody, this is odd, somebody has a red linoleum triangle here, and there's a little bit of red here.
Yeah.
I'll bet this was, somebody put a pattern in with the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was something here, I guess. Or maybe it was just the pattern, but to me it looks like somebody filled in some kind of maybe fan device or HVAC or maybe a heating device that was in the floor. Because if there was an opening in the floor, like a gridded opening, it would correspond up here with this.
Oh.
And this is the old whole house fan.
Yeah.
Which used to be a common item before air conditioning. There's a rusted old fan up above these louvers, and when you turn the fan on, the louvers are very lightweight.
Yeah.
And they open up, and then that sucks all the hot air out of the house. Okay, so this may have been a corresponding component to go with that. Boy, this guy over here is, oh, there we go. Okay, this one. Oh, okay. Oh, so there was some kind of, oh, it looks like red and black. Yeah, somebody in the green, somebody put like a red and black design of tiles in individually. But it's all, anyway, it's all coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll
Red,
just,
black, and green. They must have been Italian.
well, yeah, maybe. Either that or those were the colors of tile available. Okay, so this is what I'm leaving in place for right now. These are the layers. And I'm going to leave another 2-inch strip, and I'm going to see if I can clean this up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Oh, hi. Ah. Hi, Eddie.
Hello.
Hi.
What you doing?
I'm scraping away the linoleum adhesive that is on this wooden floor here in the hallway.
It's got an interesting pattern.
Yes. What I did was earlier today I took up the yellow, terracotta yellow carpeting, and underneath that is padding. Underneath that is kind of gray tan linoleum, and underneath that is a green sheet linoleum, and underneath that is this dark, I'm guessing an oil-based or a petroleum-based adhesive for the linoleum. It might just be a mix of old varnish and linoleum adhesive from a long time ago. I have my T-square here because I'm creating a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is, I've got the layers. We've got the carpeting, the padding, the tile linoleum, the sheet linoleum, the adhesive, and then the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm using different scraping implements, but I wanted to leave this pattern here at least in place for at least a little while, just to show the layers that we have to work through to get down to this good floor. And this looks nice. Again, this wood kind of looks like cypress, especially these pieces with the really close grain.
Yeah.
And so but this is not a finished floor. This is a subfloor.
Right.
And if you pan over here, or down to this threshold, basically, you'll see that the floor over here in the next room is a little higher.
Yeah.
And that's because it has a finish floor. Even though the wood looks very similar, I think the wood here on the subfloor is a little more rough. But this is, I'm going to stand up. Okay, if you want to pan back and just sort of get a look at this is the area I worked on today. These are the hall closets. These little closets here. They're actually one closet with 2 doors, and the sort of faded orange thick pile carpet. It came all the way up to here.
Yeah.
And there was a carpeting threshold here. And eventually I'm going to take up this linoleum that's in the bathroom as well.
Right.
Basically, yesterday, or day before yesterday, I pulled up the carpeting in here, and we cleaned the floor, and I sanded it, and we've got some of these things back in place on this on at least one little strip of nice, clean, sanded floor.
Right.
We've got like a 2-foot by 8-foot strip of floor that's nice and smooth and clean, and it's very easy to sweep. But as you can see, basically, this and what I've done in the hallway is what I've been doing for the last few days. So anyway, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Thank you, Eddie.
Okay, it's on.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, this morning I'm getting ready to put some paint remover in this part of the closet.
Yeah.
Over here. This is the floor of the closet. I've been chipping away with a hammer, a chisel, with scrapers, different scraping implements. What is on the floor is maybe a kind of tar-based adhesive that held down some linoleum, some green sheet linoleum that was put in, probably 50 years ago. If you come over here, you'll see the part of the closet that's cleaned.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, thank you. That's the part I did yesterday. And so today I'm going to use the rest of the paint remover, and I'm just going to lay it on thick on the other part of the closet. I'll show you what I've been doing. These are the implements. Come down here. Why don't you come down here? You'll see you'll see this is the old adhesive.
Yes.
See, and I left a layer of it here with these layers. These over here, this is the carpet, the padding, the tan linoleum, the green linoleum, the linoleum adhesive, and then this is the floor.
Right.
Okay, and if you look right here, you'll see that what this adhesive has left behind is a thick kind of thing like this, and it's very, very, very difficult to scrape it away or to use a scraper. See, I can use a scraper and a hammer, and I can chip away at it like this. But basically, it doesn't. You see, it comes up very grudgingly, very stubborn. Now, sometimes you can get a little. There we go. See, and so it leaves. This is about less than a 1/16 of an inch. This is, well, maybe between 1/32 of an inch and 1/16 of an inch.
Right.
It feels like and smells like a kind of tar-based, hardened goo that's been on the floor. Now, if I had really sharp scrapers, there we go. Okay. So the more of this I can do with this dry method, the less mess I have cleaning it up. But in the closet, it's just very difficult. It's difficult to get to this. It's easier to get to this out here on the floor. In the closet, it's very difficult. So what I did this morning for the first hour, this one between 8:30 and 9:30, basically, I've gone in here and I've scraped the thickest parts down to where they're thinner now.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the last of the paint remover will lift the rest of this off. Okay, and I'm reluctant to use the paint remover because it's very, very messy. You put some down, and then all that goop that the chemical removes has to go somewhere.
Right.
So it becomes, what happens is you end up having this big mess of mud that you then have to soap up. You have to soak it up in towels or Bounty or paper towels or rags or something. I've got a tub of old rags over here.
Right.
I have a big towel and I have a small cloth, and I've got some Bounty paper towels that I used yesterday that are still pretty good.
Right.
And so with that and with this is the stripper. It's a chemical stripper. It says it works in 15 minutes. For this, it takes about 20-25 minutes. And then what you do is you come in with some steel wool. You put on gloves and you use some steel wool and some mineral spirits to neutralize it.
Right.
And then it's when you have neutralized it that it becomes this big sloppy mess. And so I've got a little bit of mineral spirits in here from what I did yesterday. I'm going to use this. So I'm going to be doing this part here. If I have enough of this stripper, I'm going to bring it out to here. But I basically just want to clean the floor of the closet today, so that maybe by tomorrow it'll be dry, it'll be clean, maybe it'll be sanded, and we can put the stuff back in the closet.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm working on today.
Okay.
Thank you, Eddie.
What's all this?
What's all this? I was able to strip a large part of the floor today, and now I'm just putting some white paint around the edges of this to see how it'll look. In fact, I'm gonna bring this over here. I'm doing a rather quick job. I'm getting a few drips, but I can take those up tomorrow after they dry.
The white trim paint makes the wall paint look like a drab off-white.
Yes, well, let's see. What I did today was, I scrubbed, I used paint stripper and stripped a lot of this tar or bitumen-based adhesive, which is this sort of dark brown, black thick layer of stuff that's on the floorboards. I was able to use some, a chemical stripper along with, soap and water and a wire brush and a lot of effort. And I basically cleaned up this area around here. And so what I did was I basically took out the shelves, I took down the doors, I took off the doors of the closet and the shelves, and I'm basically just sort of cleaning it up around the edges with a fresh coat of paint. In part because I wanted to be able to see how the floor would look as it is next to a sharp outline.
Yeah.
Because it was until I painted it, the baseboards and the door frames and everything were really rough and kind of messy. And it was hard to see where the floor ended and the walls and the door frames began. So I wanted to paint in the baseboards and the door frames and the walls near the floor to basically make a distinction. So.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie.